You don't know the power of the dark side.
May the Force be with you.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
We would be honored if you would join us.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Chewie, we're home.
I have you now.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Force Talk podcast, where we talk all things Star Wars, from the movies to the shows and everything in between. My name is Trey Mitchell, and I'm joined here by my co-host Josh Pepper. Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Ready to talk some Star Wars Celebration.
How's the weather in good old Florida?
It's good. It's nice. A little bit cloudy today, but it should be good.
Cloudy with a chance of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm also joined here by my good friend Keenan Stroup. Keenan and I went to the Star Wars Celebration together. Something we will be talking about heavily in this podcast, but Keenan, what's up?
Nothing much. I'm really excited to be here. I think this is the first time I've ever done this with you guys, so yeah, I'm really excited to do it.
Is it really?
And I think so, isn't it?
I feel like you've been on once, but that being said, we haven't done many in the last year.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I mean, like, I've always loved this podcast, so I'm happy to be here.
Cool. So, today's episode, we're pretty much gonna just talk first off about Star Wars Celebration Orlando. That's gonna be the main topic of conversation here, because we haven't done a podcast since then. I've been busy, unfortunately, having to move out of Florida and finish finals and all this crap. So first things first, let's each of us go through and talk about our Star Wars Celebration 2017 experiences. So Keenan, you go first.
Heck yeah. I'm excited to talk about this because I really had a great time. The first maybe day and a half, maybe a day and a half was horrible. It was like I thought I was going to be less of a Star Wars fan after this experience, because we originally got there 10 p.m.
Tell him like the whole, from like 6 hours before celebration
True.
would start. Like,
great point. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. So I got up pretty early Wednesday morning, day before Thursday.
Celebration starts on Thursday, the 13th.
Yep, and I had to drive down there because I live in South Carolina, so it's about an 8-hour drive. Originally, the plan was to go pick up Trey and then go over to Orlando to the convention center, whatever. And so I had to get my tires changed that morning, and the idiots who who were changing my tires decided that they were going to snap off the lug nut bolts.
Some moof milkers, man.
Yeah, so that was a pain. So I couldn't drive my car down there with the bolts broken. So there was like probably what would you say, about a three hour delay maybe, something like that, before I even got on the road. Trey ended up taking a bus to Orlando so I can pick him up there to save some time.
Dude, it wasn't even like a bus. It was like it was the Mos Eisley Cantina of buses.
Yeah.
Like, it was so ghetto. Like, people were
it was
selling,
pretty sketch.
People were dealing spice on it, man. Like, there was like, there were some people from Kessel there. Like, oh my gosh. It was,
yeah, and I had to wait like
weird.
20 minutes before you got there. So
smelled like the inside of a wampa. Man. Oh, bad stuff, man.
It's
bad
true,
stuff.
man. Yeah, and then we ended up, I picked you up, and I would say, I mean, we were both pretty hyped up. Like, we actually made it to the convention center, found a parking garage, and as we were walking to the actual convention center, I was pretty excited.
Yeah. But okay, so just to like make you guys, if you guys haven't been to Celebration, okay, so the Thursday morning is the 40th anniversary panel, and to get into the 40th anniversary panel, you have to sleep overnight. And in order to sleep overnight, you have to get there between 8 and 12 o'clock, because the doors close after 12. So we try to get there as early as possible, but delays with Keenan's car. So we get there about 10, but we try to get there at 8. So that's just like some context. And there were already a bunch of people there like before the doors even opened. So Keenan and I were just like rushing to get there like as soon as possible. So I just wanted to throw that in there so people kind of understood why we were trying to get there the night early.
Yeah, context helps. So so we ran like probably a half a mile from the parking garage over to the convention center. So we, booked it, carrying our stuff. and had to go through that security check, which it really wasn't too bad. It wasn't like we were waiting like an hour to go through security. And we ended up being like somewhere near the back of the line when we were getting right when you get into the convention center. You go through the security, and then you walk through a few places, and then you see where the line is for the 40th anniversary panel. So we get in line, and I'd say we're probably like right near the back. Like it was just crazy because we slept overnight, and we ended up only being like a few people away from getting into the actual panel. So spoiler alert, we didn't get into the panel, and we slept overnight for nothing. Yeah.
Spoilers.
So that was like the biggest disappointment. One of the biggest disappointments was
and it didn't end there.
Yeah, it didn't. Like originally we slept overnight, which was horrible because we were on a concrete floor.
It was a lot worse for you two because I was prepared, man. Like I
wasn't.
I had eye shades. I had earplugs, not earbuds, earplugs, like the stuff swimmers use so water doesn't get in their ears. I was ready, man, but I was not ready for the temperature to go from hot to freezing at night. I'll tell you that. And for that one kid, there was this one little kid who started pissing on the ground. Just out of nowhere, just started pissing from his stroller. And, like, I was so sleep deprived. I was just staring at him. And I was like, Keenan, are you seeing this too? He was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, good.
I didn't look. I just saw water on the floor. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a nap on that floor in, like, 2 hours.
Dude, there were a few circumstances in which I had gotten no sleep and thought I was hallucinating. Like, Keenan,
you were.
Remember when we were at the 40th anniversary live stream and like there was that logo that was going like closer to you and like it was like going in and out?
You were tripping, dude. Like
I was like guys, like the logo was getting closer and farther away at the same time. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. And then you guys were like, wait, no, like that's actually happening.
That's a screen. Like there's actual movement on the screen.
I was like, holy crap. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the Star Wars Celebration like official artwork, but Kylo Ren's pretty like he's big in it. Like he's a big part of it. And like I was just staring at it and I was like, and this is after like the 4 hours of sleep. I was staring at it and I was like, dude, it's so weird that Kylo Ren isn't even in this. Like they have General Hux and Phasma, but no Kylo Ren. And Zach and Keenan were like, yo, he's right there.
Kylo Ren was literally right beside Hux.
Dude, I was like, what the hell? I need an MRI. I need a back to suit like Finn. Okay, but
it was miserable. Like losing the sleep and not getting to do what you wanted to do was what was annoying to me.
Because there's nothing to freaking eat except for the damn Papa John's, which was $10 a pizza. Star Wars Explained was in line in front of us. He was pretty pissed off because he didn't get it either.
It was miserable. I mean, trying to sleep on the concrete floor, which I didn't. Trey you probably got like at least an hour of sleep
for a little bit. And
then, you slept, and then the DJ came out at like 1 in the morning.
At 1 a.m., this guy is like, "Are you guys ready?" I'm like, "I'm ready to sleep, bro. Like, what the hell?" And then he starts playing Nicki Minaj, and like, man, you don't piss off an angry Star Wars fan. Like I'll start force choking you with like and then so there are these railings, right, that like separate you, and every freaking time someone would knock one down, they would start clapping. And then I'm like, wait, what did I miss? Like, I wake up and be like, mother.
You're like, oh my God, is Ryan Johnson coming out? Like, what's happening?
Dude, I'm getting so triggered right now. Like, these are emotions I haven't thought of since April 13th. Sorry to keep interrupting you, but that's...
Josh, you were there, like, in line, though, like, ahead of us, weren't you?
No, he didn't stay the night.
No,
he
didn't. I didn't stay the night for the 40th.
He didn't stay for any night.
Oh, dang.
No, I know how I know
you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I know. I know how I am when I'm sleep deprived. I'm miserable. I'm pissed off. I'm the worst. So like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to stay overnight or do that stuff because I knew I would be miserable. But I had a good day Thursday. Thursday was a good day for me. Friday was horrible for me.
Really?
Friday's the opposite for us.
Friday was miserable for me.
Yeah, Friday's when it got better for us. I'd say, well, maybe like Thursday night when we got to like meet Collider. It started getting a little bit
Keenan,
better.
Let's keep going through your experience so we can kind of get it all through.
Yeah, quickly, what happened next? So we ended up missing we missed like the 40th anniversary cutoff like by, I don't know, like 20, 30 people.
Probably 100.
Okay, so I'm bad at counting. So
there were 2 full lines ahead of us.
Yeah, that makes sense then. So, we ended up going to the live stream, which at first I was excited for, but then like when I saw like Harrison Ford and everybody like walking out on stage, I was pretty bummed out. So like we went through that and everything. Is there anything like from the live stream I'm missing, like details?
I mean, they wouldn't let us record.
That was
Even
that
though
was
it was a
stupid.
freaking live stream, which means it goes all throughout the country, they wouldn't let us record it.
Yeah,
This lady
like
was
I was.
being like
I mean,
freaking Conja Club. It's like, you can't be here, Han Solo. You can't have your cameras out.
that's
It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
mother.
we
I
snuck.
get so angry.
We snuck and recorded what we could, but at the same time, I'm like, I might as well be recording my computer screen at home. 'Cause
Right?
I'm like, I'm
I
not
can
doing
go to the
anything.
bathroom now. I can have some chips instead of starving
Real.
with sleep deprivation, thinking
I know.
Kylo Ren's invisible.
Like, I'm glad I slept 30 minutes for, in the last 48 hours on a concrete floor for this. But whatever. Like we were pretty excited either way because we're like, no matter what, we're gonna get into the Last Jedi. Like that was like our goal.
Oh, the wound's about to reopen.
This is when it like really gets real. So after Thursday night, we got to see Collider, hung out with them, and then like the next day, did we go? No, we didn't go to a hotel, did we?
No, but we went talk about what happened in preparation for Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. So we swung by the hotel because we're like we're gonna get like shower in.
Yeah, and the
and
Last
then we're gonna
Jedi
stay
panel,
overnight.
The Last Jedi panel was Friday morning, so we wanted to get there. I asked everyone I could because we really wanted to get in the Last Jedi. So I was like, "Yo, one of the 12 people who actually work here, can you help me? I want to know when I should get here for Last Jedi." They're like, "Oh, I mean, the line opens at 8, so I'd say probably get here anytime, around 8." But I'm like, "Okay, so I'll get here at 6. 6 is the time to get here." So Keenan, I'll let him tell the rest of the story.
This is funny. So we went to the hotel.
It's not funny.
And
like the end of La La
took a
Land.
shower real quick, and then we're like, all right, let's go to the freaking go to Walmart down the street, and we're gonna prep, and we're gonna get there. But like in my mind, I was like, I swore I thought we were gonna be first in line because I was like, we're gonna get there at 6.
Dude,
I'm like,
why did I
well
ask
before
for
anyone.
Why did I ask for at Best Buy or at Walmart?
Exactly. So we went to Walmart. We're like, let's get some snacks, but more importantly, we need something to actually sleep on besides the concrete floor. So, we're the night before, we're seeing everybody with these like, it seemed like everybody had them too. They're like these inflatable couches. It's hard to
Inflatable couches.
And I'm
But
like,
they-
I don't know any other way to describe them honestly,
neither.
but it was just funny because Trey decided to ask somebody at Walmart where the inflatable couches were. And
I
the lady
I didn't even think she spoke English at first. Like, I
she
still
just
don't
stared
know.
at you.
Yeah, she
She
just
didn't
stared.
even say anything.
Yeah, she was
And then
like,
Trey,
"What?" I'm like,
yeah, she
I'll
stared at you
excuse
for
myself.
probably like 10 seconds, and then Trey was just like, never mind. Like we just left. And then what did we end up getting? We ended up getting like some inflatables that you would use in a pool, like those like
inflatables, and it was a brilliant idea.
it was.
I was so proud of myself.
$5 for that too.
Yeah.
So we get that. We're like so hyped and prepared. I was getting ready to record a vlog. Like I still have the video where I'm like
Me too,
excited.
dude. Me too.
And we're like walking to the convention center and we had this smile on our faces. And then next thing you know, we get to the convention center and we see a long line out the door. And I'm like, please don't tell me that's the line. And then Trey's like, no, that's for the line for the buses.
Yeah, because
I'm like,
okay, so it was the line was right by where the buses from hotels bring you. I'm like, okay, this has to be like the line for people to wait for their buses to get back to their hotels, but that wasn't the case, was it, Keaton?
no, it wasn't at all. So so it was weird because it seemed like nobody was in the convention center, right? Like it just seemed
Oh.
empty.
It's because there was a bomb threat.
Yeah.
Or no, there was like a bomb drill or something.
Sweeping.
So everyone was
Yeah.
leaving, but we were entering, and it was like Atlanta and the first episode of The Walking Dead, when like it's just empty and like Rick's like, why is it empty? It just
Yeah.
makes no sense.
That's
And
that's
then
like
they were,
100%
and then they were
accurate.
the freaking walkers who were actually the employees there because they might as well been dead.
True. They're useless.
So bad.
Yeah, so we I was excited and I was like, all right, well, we're still gonna get in line because we see this line going around the building.
We tried to
So we're
cut
like-
too.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's just like maybe the line is right there at the corner of the building, whatever. I was like, we'll get in line. We won't be first, but we'll still be able to make it in. I would say we walked the whole convention center after that,
Dude,
like a complete
literally.
circle around it.
And it's the biggest convention center in North America.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like it felt like we probably walked like a mile and a half. Like either that or I was just really angry and hot and it just felt like longer than it was. But we walked for a long time.
Dude,
Like just trying to find the end of the line.
remember how I almost beat that guy up?
Which guy?
Remember that guy was like, haha, dude, you're definitely getting in. And,
Oh, yeah.
I was about to
Like,
just
he's
like
sarcastic.
Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One with everyone in line. Like, oh, that.
You know, that I want to bring that up, like that whole thing up about getting in because like from our understanding, because in case you guys don't know, like each of us, Josh, Trey, and I, we all got approved for a media pass.
Here we go again.
Which is
gotta bring
nothing. It's nothing. It's literally nothing.
It's a cool.
It comes in handy
it's a free
sometimes.
ticket. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
But we already all bought our tickets, so it did nothing.
exactly.
Like, the only thing it did was get Dash Star in the fourth day.
True.
That's
and I
all
got
that
to
it
do
did.
the Rebels thing,
And
which
he
is
didn't
cool.
even follow me on Twitter. I was so angry.
on.
I do have a card from him right here. It says Yoda best. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah. So we walked for a long time. We ended up being at the very back of the
it
line.
was so hot too.
Then we're like,
90
we
degrees.
kind of like snuck into the convention center and like started trying to ask people like, hey, can we can we cut in line? We have a media pass, which was a waste of time because like
that
we
guy
just
was an a-hole, man. That guy was
yeah,
such
he had
an
so much
a-hole.
sass. We were like, he had just so much sass. He basically rejected us. So
Called
basically,
us
we walked,
liars.
yeah, we walked around to the end of the line. Then we were like, screw it, we're gonna go inside. So we went into the convention center. I guess we weren't even supposed to be in there at the time.
Could've
And
blown
then,
up.
so the guy was like, no, you got to go in line. So we're like, in our head, we're like, yeah, we're not walking around the whole convention center again to get into the back of the line, to not get into The Last Jedi and stay overnight and sleep on a concrete floor again. That's the way I looked at it, at least. So we're like, screw it, we're leaving. Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of like
I had
where
to
we
call.
were
I
at
had to
that
call
point.
my mother. I was almost in tears because I've been waiting since May of 2016 for this, man.
Do you not remember? Because that's the one thing we were like, we have to get into this. Like,
Dude,
that was the one thing we
I've
wanted to do.
legitimately been planning. Like, I had been planning that for 11 months.
I remember you really wanted to get into it.
Dude, there was nothing I wanted. Like, guys, for some context, like, we should probably get to Josh's story in a second, but
Yep.
I planned my schedule for my spring classes of college to base around the fact that I would miss 2 days for Star Wars Celebration. That's how invested I was. I took some crappy classes, but just for Star Wars. I did it for Star Wars, and Star Wars bent me over and smacked me with a paddle. Like, I got screwed over
True.
by The Last Jedi, and then after that, Keenan and I went to, there was a Collider meet and greet, and that pretty much changed the whole tide of it. And then
Felt a lot better.
Yeah, and then our friend Zach came over, or he flew in from Houston. He met us there, and then that was really fun. We talked to all the Collider people. Well, you and Zach didn't want to talk to Perry much.
Dude, like, well, let's put some context into this. I am like a socially awkward person.
Everyone is, though.
Exactly. But like, I'm just like, I don't know. It's whatever. I'm glad I got to say hi and take a picture, but more the reason I didn't really want to talk was because there was a line and it seemed like everybody in front of us decided to take like 20 minutes to talk. And I'm like, let's let other people, actually get a chance to like, say hey and take a picture. So I want it to be brief. I don't like to be like,
you got to be a
annoying.
shark. You just got to like
I'm not a shark.
think about yourself.
Nemo.
Nemo. Nice. But yeah, so we went to the Collider meet and greet. That was fun. We went back to the hotel, and then Saturday we went, and that was the battle. Yeah, Rebels and Battlefront trailer, and then we met my friend Gabe there, who was there. Shout out to him, and then we hung out with him that day. And wait, no, Friday. No, that was Friday we saw him. Yeah, because we went and watched the Last Jedi trailer, and then met him immediately after. And then he stayed the night Friday with us, and then Saturday he hung out with us then too. But Friday night, I snuck in long story. Podcast is going to be too long if I explain, but I snuck into the Mark Hamill in Mark Hamill's tribute to Carrie Fisher, and that was great. Like it was really cool. I remember my favorite part of that trailer or that panel was Mark Hamill goes, sometimes I'll be laying in bed and I just imagine, like I look up into the stars, I see the silhouette of Carrie Fisher, and all she's doing is extending me the middle finger, and I'm like, that's yep. That would be Carrie Fisher. But that was perfect. And then I get out of that panel, and Keenan has Last Jedi posters. And for some context, in order to get the posters, you had to be at the panel, which we didn't get into. But somehow he got the posters, so we all have Last Jedi posters, and that's awesome.
I remember running into you guys, and you guys were running to the show floor to get the thing to put the poster in.
Yeah, the poster.
You guys
holders.
had the thing was closing, so you guys had to run to get those.
Yeah, dude.
Then
I
we ended up
Keenan
getting
mine. Good Samaritan. But, okay, so we'll get into it more, but I want to let Josh talk about his experience, because this is going to be a long podcast.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, my experience was interesting. So Wednesday I didn't want to stay overnight because I know how I am overnight, and recently I had to basically pull an all-nighter because my school and me went to Universal, and it was kind of this all-night thing, and I literally was hallucinating. So I was kind of happy I didn't do that whole thing, the 40th and the Last Jedi, because it would have been the same thing, and it was miserable the later part of it. But So I didn't stay overnight. I didn't really want to. I was thinking about doing it, but then I made last minute was nah, not gonna do it. But the Thursday morning was miserable because it was the place. First of all, the place has awful Wi-Fi and awful 4G.
There was no Wi-Fi,
True.
man. You had to pay for it.
There was Wi-Fi. It was $100.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
But it was we couldn't I couldn't watch. It was easier to watch the 40th panel and all these panels. It was easier to watch at your house than it was to actually watch there, and that was probably my biggest problem with one of my biggest problems. The employees were terrible. The unorganization was awful. It was horrible. I couldn't find anything. Once I found everything, once I knew where everything was Thursday, it was fun. But the problem was remember when you guys were waiting in line for Dave Filoni's panel, and I was calling you trying to find the place, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
where the hell is this? Where's the third floor? How do you get there? So it's that was.
There were no signs anywhere.
Yeah, that was terrible. No signs. Where was the show floor? I couldn't find the show floor.
Dude, no one could find. And it was such a nice.
We didn't know it's a
convention
day
center,
too.
But
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
didn't even get there.
then Thursday, the rest of the day after all that happened, me and my friend watched the 40th panel on the big screen that was on the show floor. So that was cool. It was a good panel. Then the Dave Filoni panel was great. The Ian McDermott. I went to Ian McDermott's panel, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I actually saw some of that online. I kind of wish I went to that. He's a really charismatic guy.
And him and Warwick Davis were together. That was such a
Warwick
fun.
is great.
Oh, Warwick was such a good host. Warwick was a great host for Celebration. Perfect choice. I hope he hosts again soon. But then, also, this place was giant. I know you guys said it already, but this
1/5 of it was being used.
Remember how I told you before? I went to the convention center 2 weeks before that. They literally, where I went to the convention center was for WrestleMania Access. If there's any wrestling fans that watch this, they used probably about 3% of that show, that convention center for the wrestling stuff, and I thought that was half the convention center, but no, it wasn't even close. But it was a huge place. The convention center was giant. But what else happened Thursday? After Ian McDermott, I went to the Collider Jedi Council panel, which was great. That was a great panel. And then I met the Collider people, which they were all. I was starstruck to meet them, because literally, I ran into Christian after the Dave Filoni panel. I ran into Mark on the show floor, and then I met the rest of the Collider people after their panel, and they were so nice. They were really cool people. Watching them on YouTube, it was really weird seeing them in person, but they were as cool as they seem on YouTube. So that was awesome. Then Thursday, that was basically it for Thursday. Then Friday. I heard your whole thing with the Last Jedi panel. I felt so bad for you guys when I heard that, when you guys told me that. I'm so glad you guys went to the Collider thing to at least make your day a little bit better. But then Friday, what happened Friday? The Last Jedi stuff. That Friday was awful because I got there and I waited in line for the show floor. So we waited in line for the show floor, and the show floor is supposed to open at 10 o'clock. So they didn't let us into the show floor until 10:45 is when they started the line to go. We were really close to the front of the line, but they started opening the line at a different entrance first. So a ton of people got in before us. And then also people broke down the bars to get in closer because there was like, oh, there's no organization. Let's just break down the bars and go. So that's what a lot of people at the back of the line did. So it's just like, so we probably got in last and we were waiting there for about 3 hours before it opened. And that because I wanted to get good spot to watch the Last Jedi stream on the show floor.
Right.
And so when I got there, there was like no room to watch the Last Jedi thing. I still haven't even watched the Last Jedi panel because I just every time I want to watch it, I just think of this and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it.
I can relate.
But it was just that was horrible. Couldn't watch the Last Jedi stuff. Then I tried watching on my phone and the 4G wouldn't work, and I was just
what did you like about Celebration?
The Thursday. I loved meeting Collider. I loved Ian McDermott panel, and I loved the Dave Filoni panel. I loved hanging out with my friends, and then I'll talk Saturday. And then Saturday was a great day.
Saturday was really cool.
I'm just talking about my miserable experience on Friday first, but Friday what happened after that? And then I had tickets to the Warwick Davis panel, which I was gonna go to, but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go eat and then go to the Schmodown panel, and then we couldn't even get into the Schmodown panel, and then I walked the show floor about 8 or 9 times that day, and then that was Friday. But Saturday was awesome. Battlefront was awesome. Battlefront was such a fun panel. Everything they talked about on Battlefront was great. The Rebels panel was okay. I mean, Rebels was kind of a disappointment. Like, the stuff they announced. Friday night. I forgot to even mention that. I ran into Dave Filoni Friday night. So that was cool meeting Dave Filoni. Just nobody was sitting there. He was by the food area. Nobody was sitting there, and nobody was over there. It was just me and my 2 friends. And I just see Dave Filoni. I'm like, that's Dave Filoni. And I just go over and get a picture, and he was really cool. He was really nice. He worked on a lot of shows I love, so it was just like, it was cool. It was kind of surreal to meet Dave Filoni, but yeah, that was Thursday and Friday. Saturday was amazing. Saturday was, or not amazing, but like the Friday was like Saturday, the Rebels panel was cool. The stream, we watched it in the stream. I know Trey, me and you watched it in the stream room, and that was fun. Like the seats are more comfortable in the stream room than the Galaxy stage. So it was kind of nice to sit in the streaming room for that one. Very
nice.
Yeah, they didn't really give any information. The panel was just kind of like their biggest like announcement was that they had Rata, or what's his name, Thrawn's assistant, was announced for season 4. Rook.
But Keenan was there. Keenan was in the live panel.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was cool. You got there.
Yeah,
he got the RSVP. Salty.
Yeah. We are students.
We are SVP too, but they don't apply to us.
Yeah.
No force talk.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just kidding.
No, it's fine. But the stream room was okay. The trailer was alright. The
sucked.
And then the first episode was good. I liked it.
It was half of the first episode.
Well, no, yeah. Actually, yeah. We saw part 1 of the 2-part episode. But it was still like 22 minutes, so it was kind of the first episode. Then the Battlefront panel was awesome. I love the Battlefront panel.
We're going to get into each of those in particular, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you have in like your overall experience?
I guess overall, I'm going to look at Star Wars Celebration as a good experience. When I was there, I was not having a good time. It was okay while I was actually there. But thinking overall, I had a good time. I had a fun time hanging out with friends. I had a fun time hanging out with you guys. That was the highlights of the trip, was hanging out, and then meeting Collider was like the highlights of the trip. If you're just talking like, stuff that Star Wars didn't provide, and then so yeah, that was fun. It was a good trip. Overall. Just I think there was a lot of stuff they could have improved and done better for sure. Also, why did they make you guys stay there overnight? If they closed the doors at 12 o'clock, why not hand the wristbands out at 12?
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
It's so painful.
Yeah, it is. But
yes.
Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much our overall experiences, but there are a lot of things that went down at Star Wars Celebration. There was the Last Jedi trailer, the Battlefront 2 trailer, the Rebels 4 season premiere, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher panel, 40th anniversary panel. You know, some talk about Ahsoka, but we're gonna go into like each of the big news and kind of talk about it for just a few minutes. So the very first thing that we're gonna talk about and what I took away as being the biggest event at Star Wars Celebration was the Last Jedi trailer. And this trailer, I mean, I've actually heard some people who didn't like it, but for me personally, I loved it. And if you guys actually want to check out Keenan's YouTube page at thegeekkeenan, he posted our reaction video. Me, him, and our friend Zach, who was at Celebration with us, we posted a reaction video to the Last Jedi trailer. Although, keep in mind, we could not hear anything. So at the end of the trailer, I sound stupid saying, "Wow, it's crazy, Luke still hasn't spoken," even though he's narrating the whole trailer. Because he couldn't hear anything. Because there was no speakers, pretty much. Like, you couldn't hear anything. So, I'll just talk first about it. I love the Last Jedi trailer. I thought it was great. I love how, like, it's kind of cliche, but, like, it just feels different. Like, it feels like a different Star Wars movie. It feels... Mm-hmm. I love how it looked. The very first shot is just great with, like, you pan up to Rey, and then it ends with, Luke saying, "I only know one truth, the Jedi must end." And you're like, wait, what? What the hell? And there's, like, a lot of really cool things in it. It's only a teaser, but I loved it. I mean, it wasn't like the Force Awakens teasers for me, because that feeling will never be, like, replicated ever. Mm-hmm. Than the lead up to Force Awakens I loved all that time, the year and a half we had before that movie. But overall, I love the Last Jedi trailer. Josh, what did you think of it?
I love the Last Jedi trailer. I mean, always watching the Last Jedi trailer kind of feels weird because, like, I don't know, just back to Celebration, the experience was just kind of like, my first experience watching the Last Jedi trailer was blurry, barely could hear it, and there was, like, people talking, so, like, it was bad the first time I watched it, but, like, when I actually got to watch it later that night, it was awesome. It was a good trailer. I love that shot of, like, Luke and R2 standing in front of the burning temple. That's always the shot I take away. That, like,
that's a cool one.
I just want to see what happens there, but the trailer is cool. It makes me excited for Episode 8. Or for Last Jedi. I'm super excited for it. It just looks cool. I like the colors. There's that one shot of this, like, of the red mist on those ships. I don't remember what.
Dude, that reminded me of the first Star Trek.
Oh,
like,
that's
what I was Star thinking. Treks.
I was gonna say Mad Max, but that's a really good
like a mix. Well, like remember like that, like those, like, white skinned people.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Yeah,
I can see it. Right after you said it, I could see that for sure. It's like. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I really enjoyed the trailer. It definitely made me excited for the movie.
That's what it's supposed to. And then Keenan, what do you think?
This this trailer was everything I really wanted. It wasn't too long, which I was fine with, I guess. But like you said, like, we didn't hear anything really the first time we saw it, so I was pretty excited. But it wasn't until we, like, got to go into the media room and watch it.
Ooh.
And
I was editing
and it was funny because we're, like, editing it and we're like, hey, let's actually watch the trailer. We watched it and we didn't hear like, it's time for the Jedi to end at the panel or at the showroom.
I heard something. I just couldn't,
I didn't, but I just saw everyone else reacting to it, and I'm like, oh man, like, what happened? And then I kind of freaked out when we actually got to, like, watch it on our phone in the media room where it was quiet.
Well, I mean, you even had your computer, because, like, I was doing it. So what happens, right, is you watch the trailer, then we sprint to the media room because you want to be the first one to upload your reaction video. And I'm pretty sure, man, we were, like, the first people at Celebration to upload a reaction video. That's why we got so many views. I mean, we uploaded it a decent amount of time earlier than Collider, and Collider didn't even do one there. Like, they did one from Anaheim, whatever.
Right.
But so, like, we go to the media room, and, like, Keenan's, like, having this conversation with this guy named Diz Fan Review, who still hasn't followed me back on anything, and I'm pissed about it. But and I'm, like, trying to, like, have my headphones in and, like, hear the audio right, because, like, they're talking, I'm like, but I did edit it fine enough, so, like, it works. But that's a really cool video. Good. You guys should definitely check it out.
Yeah, it was definitely fun doing that. I mean, as for the trailer, though, like, I was already excited for, like, The Last Jedi, so, like, there's there's not like a lot more that you can do to get me excited. Like I'd be fine if like we never got a trailer again, even though I'm not going to complain if we do get another trailer. I'll be just as, hyped up for it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I agree with a lot of what you said, but definitely kind of like there's like a completely different tone to this movie. It seems like it's just like overall, like just based off the cinematography,
Dude, when I went and saw
there's
Guardians,
deep things they're going into.
Yeah. When I went and saw Guardians 2 in IMAX, I know you were the one who told me this, but like you saw this first, but the shot when they pan around the Skelly Michael and you see Rey with a lightsaber in IMAX is freaking crazy.
It's amazing.
Like, it's like there's so much more, and you're like,
it gave me chills like that.
Body.
Exactly. It was really cool just to see that on the big screen, but
it was so
I mean the
cool.
trailer is great. I'm excited. I'm excited. I mean, do you want to go into like what we like predictions, or are you just
No.
overall impressions?
Dude,
okay.
Yeah, just like for Josh's standout shot was with Luke and R2 at the burning temple. Mine was with Rey. Actually, I don't know. Mine was like a standout 5 seconds between Rey running with the lightsaber and then Kylo Ren holding out his. I don't know why, but Kylo Ren looks dope. And also, I think it's really cool that Rian Johnson, because you guys notice Kylo Ren should have a scar all along his face, right? From the thing that Rey gave him. That sounds like Vegas. But he doesn't. He only has like a little scar over his eye because Rian Johnson just said, look, it looks stupid. I'm like, okay.
I'm kind of happy with that, honestly, because I thought it looked stupid.
Yeah, it really did. Like, all like the concept, not like fan edits. Kind of like if it was just like a small gash, but like it was made him look pretty ugly. But yeah, so that's pretty much. Oh wait, no, Keenan. What was your standout moment from the trailer?
Definitely when like the first time I was like, like at the celebration, like watching it was when we see her like training with the lightsaber for the first time
it was hard
from a
to
distance.
see that too. Like the screen was tiny,
I saw it.
Man.
I just saw like a little blue light waving around. I was like, that's her. Like she's training. Which is cool.
Cool. And then, in all honesty, my favorite trailer was the Battlefront 2 trailer. And that's something we're going to go into right now. So, if you want to check out me or Keenan's YouTube channel, we both posted our reaction video to the Battlefront 2 trailer, which got like 50,000 views total between the two, which is a lot. It's like I got like half of, or like 1/4 of my total like views from that trailer. But I guess I'll talk about this first. The Battlefront 2 trailer looked freaking awesome. And like I remember when that leaked one came out, I was like, wow. And we're there. We watch it at the same place where we watched the Last Jedi trailer on the show floor because we can't get into anything. I actually have an exclusive patch from the Battlefront 2 panel because Dash Star gave it to me, and it's going for like $35 on eBay, but I'm not going to sell it. But yeah, and just like the trailer itself, the fact that there's a single player campaign is incredible, and like okay, so just the fact there is a campaign is great. But what the campaign is itself is freaking cool. It's about, I don't remember the character's name, but it's about this Imperial officer, or no, she's part of this thing called the Inferno Squadron, and there's a book coming out July 25th about it, and it should be dope. And I'm gonna meet the author at Denver Comic Con, blah blah blah. But so you follow this character right after the Death Star blows up, and it's like, okay, like what is going on? We know the Aftermath books covered that, but they didn't cover it well, and so you're gonna be able to play as her, and you're gonna switch between her and Luke, and like Luke, and it spans everywhere from the end of Episode 6 to close to where the Force Awakens starts. So you will play as Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, probably more Kylo Ren than Ben Solo, and like that is awesome. Like it looks great. I mean, I know I'm still like it's hard for me to still sell this game to people that hated the first one. I like Battlefront. It can get really boring if you're not playing with friends, but if you're playing with friends, it can be fine. But the trailer itself was just incredible. The fact that you could play against, like, in all time periods was great, prequel era content. And I actually was just casually talking to this guy, realized he was, like, the main creator at DICE. And I was like, oh, shit. Sorry, people are... I guess, yeah, this is technically an explicit podcast, according to iTunes. So cuss all you want. But, I was talking to him, like, yeah, so, like, I didn't realize this guy was famous, so I just, like, made questions on the spot. I was like, so what character would be, like, the most fun to play as? He was like, dude, Darth Maul is going to be crazy fun to play as. I was like, yes. But and then I also asked him, how much of the backlash to how much of the reaction to the first Battlefront came into play when you made this one. He said there's a lot. He really they really tried to really listen to what the fans did. Like David Ayer, this one's for the fans, but made it for the fans. But it should be. I mean, I really do expect Battlefront 2 to be great. I'm pretty sure that they said 3 times the amount of content at launch than the first one did. Because at launch, the first one had just bare bones of the game. Then you got to pay a lot more. And we actually, Keenan and I talked to Jeremy Johns for about 6 minutes in the media room about this. Because Josh, you remember Jeremy Johns made that video where he didn't want to buy it, right?
Yeah.
So I go up to Jeremy. I'm like, hey Jeremy, did you see the Battlefront 2 trailer? He's like, no. But I hear it's good. I'm like, dude, it was awesome. I think you might want to buy it this time. He was like, yeah. And then he talked to us for 6 minutes, but it wasn't we kept asking him questions as he was trying to go. He was engaging as if it was a mutual conversation, which I guess it was, which is really cool. So
yeah,
Jeremy was so cool. Jeremy was
great.
To talk
He's kind of old. He's 36.
I did not know that.
Me neither, man.
I saw him twice at Star Wars Celebration, and he was both times he was huddled with a group of fans around him, and he was talking to every single person. It was really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I when we were in the media room talking to him about Battlefront, after 2 minutes into the conversation, I was like, we should probably be polite and I felt like we were actually kind of ending the conversation a little bit, and he kept on going, kept on talking.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I was like, all right, you want to talk? I'll stick around.
I was like, oh, I don't want to have you I don't want to keep you from going to Smowdown. I'm sorry. He's like, no, man, it was cool, and he could go into detail, but yeah. So I mean, overall, the Battlefront 2 trailer was so cool, and I still watch it a lot. But yeah, so
it's a great trailer.
It's a great trailer. So yeah, so that's kind of my experience. Keenan, I know you and I pretty much have the same experience of all Celebration because we were together the whole time. But do you have anything else to add about the trailer? You're kind of feel for it.
Just coming from someone that didn't like Battlefront 1, I'm really excited for this one.
What did you dislike about Battlefront 1?
Obviously the story mode, and I don't at the time that it came out, I didn't really have I play Xbox One. Most of my friends that would play it is PS4. Yeah. So I'm I had no one to play with. So I'm like, what do I do? And I was like, I don't really want to keep paying money to get more extra content and stuff like that. So I really liked it for about a month, but it got really, really repetitive really fast.
Josh and I played the beta for 8 straight hours one day. Only on Hoth, and it was so fun. It was so fun for a week.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for it, and I do think it's going to be a lot better than the first one.
That's good. Josh, do you have any other takes on it?
I agree. It's going to be better than the first one. This one actually has a story mode, so I'm super excited. The story mode reminds me of Lost Stars in a way.
Right? I mean, I thought it was Sienna at first, but it's not. They confirmed it's not her.
Oh, I was sitting there in the panel, and I was like, please say Sienna, and then they didn't, but... were you guys in the panel or for?
No, we were watching on the stage floor, but like you just said, you can hear me going, please be that. I was like, I really hope that's Sienna.
I was in the room, I was in the panel for Battlefront, and the room just the crowd, the first part when everybody screamed was when they said Darth Maul. The whole crowd lost it when Darth Maul came out, and then when Kylo Ren. That was an amazing trailer. It was honestly, I think it was the best trailer of the week, and it was the best panel I was at all week. That was just so cool. The everything they talked about was great. I loved my favorite part of that whole panel. The funniest part of the whole panel is when they mentioned pre-order bonus, and the whole crowd just started booing. The whole crowd started booing right when they said pre-order bonus. The guy just looks at them and he's just like, but I still gotta do it. And he's like, this one will be cool. He's like, this will be cool.
Well, and the pre-order bonus is Last Jedi stuff, so it's pre-order bonuses are pretty standard for games nowadays.
I mean, yeah, they're just it's still DLC, pre-order bonus. It's still this annoying thing.
I mean, everyone's gonna get it. It's just when, but I know, it's still annoying.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I pre-ordered it. Are you guys buying Injustice?
No.
I want to.
I don't know if I am. I don't know.
Maybe when it's like $30, I'll get it
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
If it ever goes down like that. But
eventually. But the
Yeah.
Battlefront trailer was great. It was
Yeah.
a really good trailer.
it really was. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the Rebel Season 4 premiere. And let's not get into spoilers, because for us, it's kind of odd that no one else has seen it, because we saw it. And so, like, not going into anything that happened, what did you guys think of it? Keenan, you go first.
I'm gonna try not to be biased because I was just excited just to be there and
Oh,
not
yeah,
have to
you
wait in
watched
line.
it live. Never mind. We
But,
don't need his
like,
opinion, actually. Sorry,
it was really
guys.
tough for me though, because like I'm only like just starting season 3 of Rebels, so I'm like I mean, like, I'll put it this way: I've never really wanted to watch Rebels really badly, I guess. And after seeing the first episode of season 4, I was actually pretty intrigued, and now I'm trying to catch up, so that way there's actually a purpose for me actually getting to see that early, I guess.
Yeah. Of all people, the one guy who doesn't watch Rebels gets in.
Yeah, it really made no
Lucasfilm,
sense, but
SMH.
yeah, it was actually Disney actually that.
Actually, technically, it was Reed Pop, dude. So,
No, it was Disney.
well, no one asked.
In my email address, it was like some lady from Disney.
Well, okay, no one asked.
In your face. I'm just kidding.
Are you though?
No, but I mean, like,
No.
I like the panel a lot, like, just because of the energy. There's a lot of people that really, are really into Rebels. There's a lot of cosplayers and stuff, and Dave Filoni is very interactive with everyone. So it was really cool to see the first episode, and the trailer was fine, I guess. But the first episode I was more intrigued by. And did you guys see like that Dave Filoni like T-shirt swap?
Yeah. Ahsoka lives ? Ahsoka live !
Like,
Exclamation
I did
point.
not catch it, but then
I
like
didn't
now
catch it
thinking
either.
of it, he like went off stage for a little while, and like now it makes sense. But like at first I was like, when the heck did he do that? You know, but he was definitely up to something like all weekend. But that was pretty cool. That was really neat of him to do. But that's
I
just
don't know if
overall my
Ahsoka's
opinion.
gonna live, but maybe she will. That's how he talks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just my quick opinion, I guess. You guys are like way more in the Rebels than I am, probably.
I mean,
Oh.
I don't know, but
Kind of.
Josh, what'd you think of it?
I think it's funny, like, how everybody, right when they said Rebels Season 4 is going to be last season, everybody's like, oh, this is so sad, and me and you just turned at each other and we're like, yes!
I started clapping, and it's not because I don't like Rebels. It's like, but the story's been told, you know?
No, I agree. I was like, I like Rebels. It's a good show, but, like, it needs to end. It needs to go.
It's time for the Rebels to end.
Exactly. But the panel was okay. Like, they didn't give anything. They barely talked about anything, and that was my biggest problem with the panel. Is that I was just like, when are we going to get to something that's actually like really interesting instead of just talking about the stuff we heard last season and that we actually saw a while ago? And then the trailer was okay. Like, I know you didn't really like it, Trey, but like,
It sucked.
it's okay. I mean, I like seeing. There was a few shots that were cool. It's just it gave nothing. It was like nothing.
Although, the second half of the season trailers are always the best.
Yeah.
Remember, like, we got the Maul reveal, the Obi-Wan
Yep.
reveal, the Vader reveal. Wait, yeah.
Mid-season trailers are always great.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But like, I don't know. I feel like the season 2 and season 3 trailer at Celebration was still really good for last. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because Thrawn, man.
yeah, it was Thrawn, and then
I wasn't even watching that live. I was actually at the airport about to board my plane to go to New York City. And then I see Twitter and everyone's like, Thrawn. So I start screaming at the airport, which is a no-no. And I was like, yeah, okay, my bad, guys. Sorry, don't want to start screaming, but Thrawn. I was like, kill them all. Oh, wait, probably shouldn't say that at the airport.
oh my god.
Hope they all die. Oh, whoops. Security, it's not my fault. I'm not United Airlines. But
It's not your fault.
don't drag me out. Don't drag me out. But what
But
is
then
happening?
the first episode was okay. I mean, the first episode was fun. It didn't feel like a first episode. It felt like one of those fun side episodes. Is what I would say, like one
Like
of
a
those
prelude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like one of those filler episodes. I would say, like, it felt more like one of those Chopper episodes than one of those actual
Aw.
episodes.
Chopper.
But even though I liked it, it was a good episode. Like there's some cool shots in the episode. The ending's really good and makes me want to see part 2. But like I kind of wish they showed us part 1 and part 2 because I know 2 years ago at Anaheim celebration they showed the first 2 parts.
Anaheim celebration was the best, and there will never be a one as good as it from everything I've heard. It was just too perfect.
I mean, yeah, there was a lot of people that were saying that at celebration.
And it was Force Awakens, and like that won't, like you can't match that, man.
No.
True. I mean, so it was the first celebration where Disney actually had celebration, where actually Star Wars. So, yeah, or no, it was like the second probably, but it was the one that actually mattered with Force Awakens and all that stuff.
It was the third one.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, but that's really my thoughts on the Rebel stuff. It just I wish they gave more information. I wish they told us a little bit more because I felt like the big thing was like you could tell the panel like they're like a family there, but they just didn't. Like, then that was cool hearing their interaction, but it was just stuff I wanted them to talk about more of the next season, not what we just went through this season.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just to, like, wrap it up, because we're already at almost an hour. So, I thought the Rebel Season 4 premiere was okay. It was the worst premiere of all of them, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean it was bad. But it was, like, I'd give it, like, a 6 out of 10. I've only seen half of it, so kind of can't judge it on the whole episode because I mean if you've only seen half of a movie you're like what, like this is weird, but anyways, so yeah. And then last thing that I want to briefly touch on is the 40th anniversary panel, and so that was actually the very first panel in chronological order from these things we're talking about. And this panel had George Lucas, and that's kind of what stung the most about not going to it is the fact that George Lucas, Harrison Ford, and the biggest to me was Hayden Christensen. I was so happy that guy was there. Because I don't know if you guys know this. I actually used to think as a kid I was Anakin Skywalker. Like, I thought I was him. So, like, Hayden Christensen is, like, just very sentimental to me. But he was there, and he got a lot of applause. And then he was actually on the Star Wars live show, stage show. And at the very last question, Andy Gutierrez asked him, was like, so Hayden, I just got to ask you, like, what's your opinion on sand? He was like, well, you know, like, it's rough, you know, it's kind of coarse, and it just gets everywhere. I was like, you're the best. Like, he played it off so well. Like, I think he loved being there, and I think there's a reason he was there, because he's in The Last Jedi.
Just to touch on that, I had the vibe that, like, he was kind of nervous to be there. And then once he got there and started seeing that everyone was embracing him. Yeah.
Louder than George Lucas.
Exactly. And like once people started embracing him, he opened up more, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And if you guys like want to check out a video based off of like I made a video and it was I think what Force Ghosts could be in episode 8 and all the Force Ghosts that technically can be and who I think will be in it. So check that out on my YouTube page. But the 40th anniversary in my opinion was pretty cool. We watched it like Keenan and Josh said, or no, I was with Keenan. We watched it in the live show, which really diminished it for us. But yeah, overall it was pretty cool. Do you guys have anything to add about the 40th anniversary panel?
It was an okay panel. I mean, I watched it from the stage in the celebration floor. It was a good panel. I like the I liked the 40th panel. I love that Hayden Christensen got the applause. George Lucas. I like that stuff. I didn't even see John Williams' performance because I thought the panel was over after the Carrie Fisher thing, and then I just left. And then I was like, it's still not over, and I heard everybody talk about John Williams. I'm like, oh, so I got to watch that eventually. But it was a good panel. It was a good panel to celebrate Star Wars, and it was a good opening to the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I probably liked it a little bit more. I thought like Warwick Davis was great at hosting it. George Lucas. I mean, I think everyone kind of expected him to be there, but it was just like, I don't know. I kind of had like a sigh of relief when he actually did come out. So I was pretty excited for that. I was only disappointed that Ewan McGregor didn't come out because I thought he was going to for sure. Because I'm like, you have like Samuel L. Jackson and Liam Neeson sending in like video clips, you know, and then we got nothing from him. I personally think something's up with that, but that's just me. Overall, I mean, like I love the panel. I love that joke about Harrison Ford landing his plane on I-40 or something like that. That was like really awesome. So I mean, like I loved it. I wish I could have been there. John Williams was there, which was really awesome. That was really cool. And overall, like, I mean, like, I did rewatch The Last Jedi panel, and I think I like the 40th anniversary more.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah. So that's pretty much all we're gonna talk about from Star Wars Celebration, and then we just have a few things of news. Then we'll be done with. But so the very first piece of news we have some art based off of a picture of Kylo Ren's reported ship from The Last Jedi. It looks like a mix between a TIE fighter and a TIE interceptor, and kind of that TIE. Man, the one from Rogue One on Scarif. I forget what it's called. TIE deflector, maybe. But yeah. So like you guys see it right here. What do you think of the way it looks?
I think it looks dope. That's just me personally. Did you watch Jedi Council where they said it looked like the Millennium Falcon a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I didn't understand that.
I didn't know it. Like, I didn't think that at all. Like, I didn't see that at all.
Well, I think he meant the thrusters at the very back.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe
that would make more sense then, because I was like, "What the heck are they talking about?" Like, I don't see anything like that.
No, I was gonna say maybe the window, but that's standard Imperial windows. So.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. Like, so we're expecting Kylo Ren to be flying this thing.
Yeah.
That's. I'm more excited about just the idea of him flying a ship than what it looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion.
That should be cool. I want to see Kylo Ren fly it. It's, I mean, it looks cool, but it looks, I mean, I say that for every, like, ship I see. It's cool. It doesn't really do anything to me, but, like, I can't wait to see him fly it. That would be cool.
Me too. Yeah, I think, like, that's definitely what I take away from it, is that he will fly a ship, which is, I mean, that's just, it's just cool. Yeah. And then the next piece of news, if you guys scroll down to page 3, we have the very first issue of Darth Vader issue 1 cover art.
Looks so cool.
And this story is very interesting to me. And this is not the Darth Vader series that have already came out. This is different. And this is Darth Vader right after episode 3. So we have a very, very vulnerable Anakin Skywalker here. And that's, in my opinion, the story I went told most of Darth Vader, is how he, like, he goes from Jedi to this technological terror in one day. Like, how does he cope with that, you know? Like, I want to know that, and I'm really, really excited for this. I don't love the art of this, but it still looks really cool. Keenan, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I think the art looks pretty cool, but that's not, like, really what I take away from it. It's what you said. Like, I want to know about that story between episode, 3 and 4, because, like, at the end of episode 3, you hear him, like, saying no, like, he's got to be kind of conflicted, in a way, and you want to see what, like, is going on inside of his mind. I'm not sure if they'll explore that, but, like, I don't think he goes from episode 3 to, like, episode 4 Darth Vader in, like, a day. Like, there has to be some sort of transition. So I'm really curious about that.
Neither was Vader.
Yeah, I'm just really curious about that. I'm gonna read it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, I always like buying the first issue of all the Star Wars comics. And, like, this will definitely, I'll probably buy all the issues of it.
Yeah, the cover looks great. I love the cover. I love what it looks like. I hope it kind of does what, like, the closest thing right now we have to episode 3 with Vader is Lords of the Sith, where he did kind of feel very conflicted in Lords of the Sith. Like, there's
like
still
Anakin in it. Like, you still have, like, the flashbacks of Anakin and Clone Wars, like Plo Koon and stuff.
He thinks about Ahsoka, Plo Koon, all that stuff. So, like, hopefully in this, if this takes place right after, which that cover kind of indicates it looks cool.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get moments like that again, where he's kind of thinking about his past, trying to kind of let go of all this stuff, like, that happened to kind of become episode 4 Vader.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. June, I think. June is when it comes out, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, and then a few more things. Josh, have you been reading the Darth Maul comics?
No, I have them sitting in my room. I'm kind of waiting until all 5 come out.
They're good. Yeah, that's. I mean, they're good. I think by far the best 5 comic run has been Lando. Lando's my favorite Star Wars comic so far. Comic series.
Lando was alright.
I loved Lando. I loved
everything about it.
Kanan's
really good. Kanan.
I liked Kanan. Keenan. What? That should be like your Star Wars name is like Kanan Jarrus.
That's what I was thinking.
Wait, Keenan. The name's dyslexia is hitting. Keenan Jarrus. Oh,
I'll take it.
But yeah, so the Darth Maul comics are pretty good. And then, Josh, have you finished the Thrawn book?
Yeah, I'm done with Thrawn.
Did you like it?
No, not really.
I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm just bored.
Yeah, agreed. I listened to the audiobook. I was super bored watching it or listening to it and then reading. I was reading at the same time and I was just really bored. I like the parts when you get like inside Thrawn's head, but besides that, I just don't like the book at all.
Like, I like when he's like, I like the first few chapters, and then like once he goes to the Imperial Academy, it's cool for like a chapter, and then you start talking about that one chick from Rebels, like like the female officer, like she's a big part, and I just get bored. But
yeah,
Price, yeah, she's a weird first name.
I mean, the better book that just came out was Rebel Rising.
Well, I was gonna ask you about that after this. I was gonna say, can you give your spoiler-free take on those two books? Hold on. Just for some context, these books are the junior adult Rogue One books, Rebel Rising and Journal of the Wills, right? Or Guardians of the Wills, right?
Yeah, Guardians of the Wills. I'm still not done with Guardians of the Wills. I'm about 150 pages into it. It's like 200 pages. It's good. It's all right. I mean, it's like it hasn't given any information, so I don't really like it that much. Nothing interesting has happened except for like characters meeting from the movies, but like that's really it. It hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything except like also making the Sith code and the Jedi code canon. That's awesome. I love that. So that was cool, but besides that, like it hasn't done anything. Rebel Rising was great. Like I love Rebel Rising. I love the first half of Rebel Rising. Like the first I don't know, it's like 400 pages. The first like 250 pages are amazing. The stuff with Saw and Jin, and this isn't really a spoiler because we know what happens when Saw leaves Jin behind. That's when the book starts going bad. Like the book is great when they focus on Saw and Jin and like training and all that stuff, but when Saw leaves Jin, after that the book just kind of gets boring, and it's like I don't really need to know like literally every single detail to what happened. Mm-hmm. So that's where it got boring. But when it focused on Saw and Jin, the book was amazing. I think it should have ended when Saw left Jin, but that's just me. It was good.
More good. Inside joke. Deception lies. Yeah. So I mean, anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else about Star Wars Celebration that we left out?
I don't think so. I think we covered.
Like just quick, it was cool like getting to watch like the old movies and stuff like that with the fans.
Yeah, and it was crazy when
do that.
It was crazy, dude. It was crazy when Gareth Edwards came out during the.
You should have saw the look on your face,
dude. It was crazy.
Gareth,
did you know? Like that's an inside joke, but like when that guy walked out on stage, you felt like.
Okay, so for context, Keenan all day has been going, dude. Like so driving up there, he's like, dude, I just have a feeling they're gonna announce an Obi-Wan movie. I'm like, they're not gonna announce an Obi-Wan movie. He's like, dude, I just have a feeling. I'm like, okay, and then he was like, dude, I just have a feeling that like Gareth Edwards is gonna come out at the screening for Rogue One. I'm like, what? Why?
I was almost right.
No, what was that guy's name? Matt, whatever. Like the host came out, not the director. But
yeah, I'm not
Keenan
lying.
is right though. Him. Right when that guy came out, I go, no. Like I didn't want Gareth Edwards to be there just so Keenan could be wrong. Like that's what happened. Because I'm on record. I'm like, if Gareth Edwards shows up, I'm walking out of here. Like that's how.
And then right before the movie starts, some guy walks out looking like Gareth Edwards.
No, he doesn't look like Gareth Edwards at all.
It kind of like if you're not really paying, like I was looking at the screen, so I see somebody walk
out.
That's
it. Anyways, yeah, I guess yeah, that's it. And then we watched Return of the Jedi, but yeah, that was fun. Not gonna go into other stuff, but trap. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this podcast. Hopefully there's some more news, and hopefully this podcast will get back to like a weekly or every 2 weekly thing, but definitely the summer will be a lot of content. But yeah, so I would like to thank our guest Keenan for coming on. Keenan, where can people find you on every form of social media ever?
Oh, I got a lot of them. Twitter is the Geek Keenan. That's just kind of my thing.
2Ks,
YouTube,
right?
the Geek Keenan. Wait, what'd you say?
2Ks,
yep.
right? But not 3.
Yep, so
that would be bad.
Exactly. That'd be really bad. But yeah, the Geek and then Keenan. And then Instagram, the Geek Keenan, because Instagram won't let me have that username for any reason. But that's it.
Who else is the Geek Keenan?
No one. I've emailed Instagram a million times about it, and they won't get back to me.
Damn. Yeah, I got blocked from Instagram for liking too many pictures. Anyways, and then Josh, where can people find you? Even though everyone knows where to find you.
I'm on Twitter at Joshua7520, and then YouTube Grandmoff Josh.
Then you can find me on Twitter at the Treyinator. On YouTube, just type in Trey Mitchell Star Wars. I'm that guy. And then I made a new Instagram account for geek stuff, and it is the easiest username you will ever hear. It's Star Wars Trey. That's it.
I love it.
It's so easy. How that wasn't taken. Geeky Trey was taken, but Star Wars Trey wasn't. So, I'll take it. Maybe that will be my new thing, Star Wars Trey. But even though I've been posting a lot of Spider-Man stuff, that audience is like, wait, what? Traitor, it's a trap. But okay, so that will be it for this episode of Force Talk. Hope you guys enjoyed, and may the Force be with you always.